What in God's name did I just see?
Well, that was a classic film that's being produced and being distributed on Netflix, and yeah, it's the classic. It's the classic.
What an intro. Hi, I'm Al, and that's Adrian, and this is Home Team Sports, and we'll be joined by our regular cast of characters momentarily. Cousin Phil, heel turn Harry, are in the wings somewhere. Meanwhile, the premise of that said intro is the fact that we have a new lead dog in our midst, and wait, before I say anything else, Buzz, can you hear us?
Yeah. You hear me?
Did you see that intro?
No.
You
I've been waiting.
Got to play it again. You got to play it again.
I will. Not right now, though.
You got to play it again.
I got to do it right now?
You got to play it again. I want him to witness this masterpiece. It was amazing. Okay. I'm pretty sure all the fans and all the critics would love to see it again.
What's up, Chris? Yeah, he made an intro. Yes, he did. What's up, Chris Vant? And here it is again for those who missed it.
That shit was like 2 minutes and 30 seconds too long.
Oh,
that was a beautiful movie. Like I can't wait for the movie to be released. It's going to be epic.
Hold on. So going back through messages, and I know he said he's 3-1 this week, but I didn't see his picks anywhere on Messenger.
He sent them to me.
Oh, dang it.
So here are the upgraded standings, cuz Adrian at 43 and 21. You are at 42 and 22, one game behind him. I am at 37 and 27, and Harry's at 34 and 30. We've picked 64 NFL games, 16 weeks worth. We have 2 more weeks to pick, and you guys are a game apart, and I'm 5 games behind you.
You want to know what's funny? I'm watching the intro, and I see he'll turn Harry make a comment and big out Broski and AJ. I said, "Wow,
where's my comment?
Where's my?" And then I was like, "Suck it, Phil." I was like, I got.
All right, I want to know I got a question for Adrian. What's with the fucking sheep, man? What did I have to do with it?
It's a meme. It's a meme. It's a meme, and it didn't show up correctly. But I'm glad it didn't. Going back and looking at it, I'm like,
I saw the sheep, and I'm like, what the hell is that about? Like,
you see a big black dog in the midst of all these sheep, and I'm like,
yeah, that's him.
Okay, right. I guess so.
I got it.
All right. So yeah, he it only took him 16 weeks to catch it, cuz.
That's fine.
Only 16 weeks.
It's not how you start. It's how you finish.
All right. So before we talk about anything else, guys, let's get into this week's picks because since we're talking about it, and since the intro was about it, and since there's the records right there, and we have a new lead dog, so let's check out a couple of games that I thought had playoff implications. Starting with the Dolphins at the Titans for both teams. Now, the funny thing is if we would have had this on here about a month ago or so, we would have been like, yeah, okay, whatever. But the Dolphins have won 7 straight games.
Yeah.
And not against slouch teams. I mean, everybody's saying, oh, they beat up on crappy teams, blah, blah, blah. There was a couple good teams in there. They're playing very good defense. They're not asking Tua to do a lot. They're just running the ball. They got some playmakers, but they're doing a lot of it on defense. I went back and looked at some of the stuff that they did, and I watched that entire. I was thoroughly entertained with the Saints game. I was watching, and I know they were playing the 4th string quarterback in Ian, whatever his name was, from Notre Dame. The kid from Notre Dame. The poor kid got. I mean, the kid got thrown.
He was running for his life.
Yeah, he got thrown to the wolves. The Saints even called up Drew Brees and asked him to unretire. They were down to no quarterback.
And Rivers.
And they called Rivers. Yeah, it's ridiculous. So, I mean, the Saints are in disarray, and it's not their fault because of the COVID and, this, that, and the other thing. So, but the Dolphins have a chance. The Dolphins, after starting 1-7, are now 8-7, and they have a chance. But they're in Tennessee. Tennessee's been hot and cold ever since they lost Henry. So how do you see this game playing out, Phil?
I think I'll pick it. I'm going, listen, the Dolphins was the first team in history. No other team has lost 7 straight and won 7 straight in the same season. Yeah. I saw that stat yesterday. But what I like about why I'm taking the Titans is A.J. Brown's back.
Okay.
I got to go Tennessee at home.
Tennessee. Chris Vant always says hi. What's up, Chris? Hey guys, how y'all doing tonight? We're doing excellent, Jessica. I hope everybody had a happy Christmas, and I hope everybody is going to have a happy New Year. We took the week off last week, but we're back, and we're doing our last show for this calendar year, and I hope everybody has a happy and safe New Year's, however you celebrate it. Mr. Star Sanders.
I agree. Tennessee, even though the Dolphins won 7 straight, look who they've beaten. I mean, they made 1 or 2 good teams in that stretch.
Yeah.
But the teams that they beat, the good teams that they beat, were having personnel issues. So they were basically playing backups. So I mean,
they're more lucky than good.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. With some of those games, pretty much. I see Tennessee is at home. Yeah, definitely. There's no other way that you could wisely pick this game and say, "Oh, it's going to be, it could be competitive," but you got the return of AJ Brown. Mm-hmm. That dude's, when he is hitting on all cylinders, he's hard to stop. He's a coverage nightmare. And then, when Julio decides to play, then you really gonna have a problem.
Well, I gotta say that it's hard to pick against a team that's won 7 straight, but all good things do come to an end. And you're right. Mm-hmm. You're right. Most of the teams that they've played have been decimated with injury or COVID. So they are getting more lucky than good. I will say though that the defense is lethal. It's a very good defense.
Yeah.
They're not world beaters, but they are very aggressive, very straight to the ball, very, very blitz happy on third down. A lot of times on third down and short, they blitz a lot. So they come at you and they at all different directions. And then they had a pick 6 last night. I mean, be it against a kid who came in there, got thrown to the wolves, but still, they got playmakers on defense. So I think it's going to be closer than people think. But I think the Titans win at home, but I think it's going to be closer than people think. With that said, we all picked the Titans. We got another one. Cardinals and Cowboys. It's in Dallas. Dallas has already clinched the East. Yeah, he's first, right? We're going to keep switching first to be fair, Phil. Dallas has already clinched the East, but they have stuff to play for because they can still get that number 1 seed.
They could.
Which will get them a bye. So, with bearing that in mind, and Arizona's been kind of falling off the planet now. How do you see this? Cardinals at Cowboys, Mr. Non-believer in Dallas.
Well, I'm going to continue my streak. I'm taking the Cardinals.
Wow.
I'm taking the Cardinals. Look who Dallas is beat up on. Listen, seriously, look who Dallas is beat up on.
Washington, Giants.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Now, when they play a team like a really good, they're going up against a really good defense, possibly defensive player of the year with T.J. Watt, Buda Baker, and Kyler Murray is Kyler Murray's still Kyler Murray.
But they don't have D-Hop.
He was still spreading the ball around.
Right.
They barely lost the last game, so
barely, but they still lost.
Look what they played.
Well,
I understand that. Look, listen. Regular season. I'll go next because we'll go clockwise, and then when Phil starts, we'll go counterclockwise. Listen. I don't ever want to pick the Cowboys. You understand? I never do. But regular season and this regular season, they got their starters back last week. They got their full defensive starters back last week.
Mm-hmm.
They're one of the more healthier teams in the league as far as COVID and injuries go. So that counts for something. The Cardinals are still missing a piece here and a piece there. The Cardinals are imploding like they always do. Everybody was high on the Cardinals, including myself, earlier in the season when they were, they had 1 loss or whatever it was, or 2 losses, and they were like, beating pretty decent teams, but they're starting to show their true colors, and now they're in a position now where they basically got to win the last 2 games. They don't have to. They could get in with different scenarios or whatever. They're already in. So basically, the Cardinals, I think. I think I got to go with Dallas, but like if they play again in the playoffs, I might go the other way. Only because Dak has 1 playoff win ever, and he chokes on the big stage. That's my opinion, but I'm going to go with Dallas on this particular game. But if they play again in a couple of weeks, I might go the other way. Bill?
I got to catch Adrian. I'm only going Dallas.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on with James Conner. They were missing James Conner last week. They got beat by a really good Colts team. The week before, they, I don't know.
Cardinals are a broken team, playing horrible the last 3 weeks.
Well, Murray's still coming back from that ankle injury.
Yep.
And the first time coming back, he plays Detroit,
Yeah.
So last week, that was a good game. I mean, it was close. I just think Dallas is better than the Colts. Right now, they're playing hot. They got something to prove because everybody wrote Dak off as just a flop so far, and he come out and did really well. I know it was against Washington,
not that he's a flop,
but that's what they were saying is he hasn't lived up to his potential the last couple weeks.
All right,
is what they were saying,
which is the truth.
But the defense is playing better and better. Dan Quinn's defense, and they got Gregory back. They got Lawrence. You got Gregory Lawrence. Michael Parsons is still playing like a maniac. Still got Diggs picking people off. I mean,
You know what? I don't know what the hype about Diggs is.
Well, what does he have now? 9 or 10 interceptions?
He's got 11 interceptions,
11.
But he leads the league in giving up yardage. He's over 900 and some yards.
So what? He gives up garbage yards.
They're not garbage, man. I mean,
a lot of those
13 TDs. 13 TDs to 11 interceptions. I'd rather have 11 interceptions than like shut down corner like Deion Sanders. You know what I mean? Like,
is there a shutdown corner in the league anymore?
Yeah.
Who?
There's a couple of them.
Who? Lattimore?
Howard from Miami. He's second
Xavier
in
Howard.
Yeah, he's second in interceptions. You know, and he's only given, less than half.
So we're all picking Titans. We're all picking Cowboys.
No,
I picked the Cardinals.
Oh no, I'm sorry. You picked the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Cowboys, Cardinals. All right, next game. Rams at the Ravens.
Pick the Cowboys.
He did. Rams at the Ravens. Ravens are dying. A slow, painful death. They haven't had Lamar.
They get Lamar back for this game, don't they?
They do. I believe they get him back, but I don't know. The thing about the Rams this year, and it seems like they just when you think they're back, or just when you think that they're what we expected of them at the beginning of the season, they let you down. You know what I'm saying? And this is a game where I don't really think that this is where Baltimore's playing for their playoff lives. They're on the bubble now. They're on the outside looking in, and we're going to look at that in a minute. I have it ready for us to look at as a group. We're going to look at the entire NFL playoff picture as pertains to all this stuff. But the thing of the matter is Ravens have a little bit more to play for than the Rams. The Rams have already clinched their spot. They haven't necessarily clinched their division, right? But they've clinched their spot as a playoff berth. So they're in. It's just a matter of where they're going to fit in the equation here.
Yeah.
So it's in Baltimore. They get Lamar back. I get all that cool stuff. I'm gonna lean towards the Rams, but I'm reluctant on that. And we'll shoot it over to who picked first last time between the two of you last time. You. Okay, so Phil's turn.
I'm going Rams.
Okay.
Cooper Kupp is hard to stop. Odell's had a touchdown on 4 straight now.
Cooper Kupp is the man.
Sonny Michel's been running his ass off. And Cam Akers is back for this game.
Akers is back for the Rams, yep. There he is.
I'm going Rams.
So
it's hard not to pick the Rams. I mean, the Ravens have lost 3 in a row. 3 straight. 2 from stupidity.
But they didn't have Lamar, though.
Yeah, but they still could have won those.
They do this all the time. That's what he is. He gets, because of the way he plays, he gets hurt all the time, and he costs his team a couple of losses.
First loss of this streak, they had Lamar.
They went for what, a 4th down, Adrian? It's a 2-point conversion instead
of that's on Coach Harbaugh. That's on Harbaugh.
And that cost him the game both times.
But
first time was Lamar, the dude dropped the ball.
I heard that he asked the players if they should go for it, and of course they're going to say yes.
No, you tie the game up when you got a chance. You done drove all the way down there. You can tie the game up, but now y'all want to be dumb as hell and do the same thing y'all did last week. And he got the what the fuck face on the sideline after that miss. He just like, how, you can't. You're not allowed to look like that. You're not allowed to look like that. You're not allowed to be like. Okay, when he done dropped the ball.
So our last game of the 4 that we're picking, we all went Rams here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all went Rams here. Okay. So Chiefs at the Bengals. Interesting matchup. Interesting matchup because you want to jump on the Chiefs, but the Bengals have been playing really good lately. And they're home, so it's not going to be a cakewalk for the Chiefs. I think it's going to be a really good game. It might be the best game of the week.
Possibly.
I think it's going to be fun to watch, and it's going to be Joe Burrow versus Patrick Mahomes. We're going to check it out, and but I'm going to give the edge to the Chiefs slightly. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think it's going to be like close, but I think the Chiefs win. And Adrian, you're first this time.
I mean, I got to stick with the hot hand. Joe Burrow. They had a fantastic game last week.
They did.
A fantastic game last week. 526 26 yards. He had 299 in the first half.
Crazy.
For a second-year quarterback. He was you couldn't stop anybody on that team. But who did they beat? Who did they beat?
The Ravens.
I get it, but it's
I'm taking the Chiefs.
right.
I mean, the way you came out of
I know
this,
Phil wanted them to take the Bengals. Phil wanted them to take.
No, I wanted him to take the Chiefs.
Oh,
but the way he was talking was Bengals because they said that and this is not me again. I'm just a fan. I'm not an expert, but it was said last night that the Bengals have the best offensive weapons, not discounting the Chiefs, but they have Boyd, who went over 100. I mean, like 3 guys went over 100 yards.
Yeah.
Right.
Joe Mixon, Burrow playing. As long as nobody in the Chiefs organization says that he doesn't deserve a brown jacket, because that's, I don't know if you read that interview where the defense coordinator said, "Hey, I wouldn't be handing him a brown jacket at me in Hall of Famer," and then all of a sudden he throws like 525, and I asked him about it. It's like, I didn't take that personally. Well, how'd you feel after again? Did that come to your mind? He goes, yeah. He's the first quarterback to do that to the same team to throw over 400 yards.
So the Bengals can win the division, right?
I think they have it wrapped up. I'm not sure. They could win it, but I don't think anybody's going to come close to them. I'm going Cincinnati here just because they're playing hot. Like he says, got to go with the hot hand.
Wow.
Chiefs are good. Don't get me wrong. They're 10-4 for a reason, but a lot of them have been close games. And if you keep this one close, Cincinnati will win it. But if you don't, you got to jump on Cincinnati early. They can't play from behind. It's been proven all year.
Yeah.
So hopefully it stays close in Cincinnati. I got to go with the crowd. I go with Cincinnati.
So
this is where I take one over.
Chris, here you go.
Cowboys catch them. Cincinnati overtakes them.
Chris.
Oh no!
Yeah. All right.
Did you watch his interview the other day?
I did.
No.
So John Madden passes away today at age 85. And they made that special, that Madden special, that will air on New Year's Day.
But they just aired it. They're airing it again.
I was told New Year's Day.
I just watched it.
They aired it on Christmas.
Friday. Oh, they aired
Christmas.
it on Christmas.
It came on Christmas, yeah.
I almost text you guys to tell you, like,
we
talk about
who's
the best, like the GOT. Tom Brady or Bill Belichick. After watching that, man, he is the most influential ambassador to football.
Oh, yeah.
Of what this guy did. He revolutionized the game. The way that sports casters do it today is all because John.
I mean,
the whole Madden team.
Super Bowl winning head football coach. He was a broadcaster.
He's the winningest coach.
Broadcaster for years. Always loved his insights and stuff like that, especially when it came to Brett Favre.
Brett Favre, Taylor, they're all in it. Offensive lineman.
And then
Nate
when
Newton, he was a big Nate Newton fan.
He innovated the magistrator where he would circle and say, "See this guy here? He's going over here, and he comes up on the other side here, and boom!" It's always yeah. So man, our prayers definitely to John Madden's family and all that stuff. That's breaking news right here to me because I didn't even know. So thank you, Chris, for letting us know that.
That's crazy.
85 years old.
That is crazy.
I am gonna watch that. I thought it was New Year's Day, so it was. You guys are telling me it was Christmas Day. I was quite busy Christmas Day.
I was gonna say because I just watched it and it was really.
So then it was Christmas Day. So yeah, I'm gonna check that out. The All Madden thing, where they basically reflect on his legacy, correct?
I think it was his influence of the game, like how he influenced the game, and then like they had video game, like he made football more popular. Like,
Madden forever, man. All those kids playing Madden. All those kids playing Madden.
How people back then looked at quarterbacks, receivers. He was more offense, defensive linemen, how they, you know what I mean? The New Year's, Thanksgiving Day game, he revolutionized with the turducken.
Yeah, right. He would
You
give
know,
away.
turkey leg.
He would give away turkey legs to the MVPs of the
and
game.
a lot of people came out and had some. His two kids, his wife. Nate Newton. He was a big Nate Newton fan. Lawrence Taylor, Brett Favre, Troy
I think they
Aikman.
kind of knew that his days were numbered and that they had to do this now because I mean it seems coincidental to me that this came out now.
Yeah.
I don't know. So, but yeah, John Madden passed away at age 85. So let's look at the NFL playoff picture. We're going to look at this together if I do this right. And if I don't do it right, I apologize to everybody because I don't use this thing that often, but when I do, I try to make it count. So
that's what she said.
Right, exactly. So you guys can see this screen, right? And this is the National Football League AFC playoff picture right there. You see the division leaders. You see the Kansas City Chiefs sitting at 11-4, the number 1 seed at the moment. Tennessee 10-5. We talked about them earlier. So they can still get that number 1 seed, especially if the Bengals take the Chiefs down. Bengals sitting at 9-6 are the 3 seed, and the Bills coming out of death because the Patriots were on a run there for a while to take the East, but the Bills have the number 4 seed. If the playoffs were tomorrow, there's your division leaders, and then the Chiefs would have the bye. The wild card teams in the AFC are number 5. You got the Colts at 9-6. You got the Patriots also at 9-6, and the Dolphins. I laugh when I say that because yes, if the playoffs were tomorrow, the Miami Dolphins, you would have 3 AFC East teams in the playoffs, and the Bills, Patriots, and Dolphins.
The playoffs did start tomorrow because the Dolphins would be going to Tennessee.
How about that? There it is.
Huh?
That's
Think
funny.
about that.
A little bit of prelude right there. Look how many. But guys, look how many teams are still in the hunt in the AFC. You got 6 other teams that are not mathematically eliminated. Ravens are 8-7, Chargers 8-7, Raiders 8-7. They all kind of control their own destinies. As they're going to need help, but they just got to keep winning now. The Steelers are still alive, 7-7-1. The Browns 7-8. Huh?
Okay. I don't see how the Steelers, Browns, and Broncos are still.
There's 2 games left.
Because mathematically they have not been eliminated.
There's 2 games left.
There's 2 games.
Every team ahead of them would have to lose both games.
Right.
And that's impossible.
I get it, but I'm just showing you what I see. And
That's
it's a little bit less complex in the NFC. So there's your playoff picture right now as we speak. And then in the NFC, you got the Packers sitting up there at 12-3. They don't have the number 1 seed locked yet because the Cowboys and or Rams and or Bucks can all catch them because they all have 11 wins. 2nd, 3rd, and 4th seed right there. As we speak right now, the Cowboys are the 2nd seed. Wild card, Cardinals at 10-5, 49ers at 8-7, and the Eagles are the number 7 seed as we speak at the moment. In the hunt still, you got 4 teams basically. The Vikings, the Falcons, the Saints, and Washington, but they need a lot of help, just like Adrian said about the AFC team. Do you guys see on either side one of those teams that are in the hunt sneaking in that aren't in as we speak?
Hell no.
Not even like say Baltimore over here instead of the Dolphins.
Okay, well 8 and 9 maybe. Well, 9 and 10 maybe. Because the Raiders might be able to sneak in. The Chargers definitely could sneak in.
Okay.
Yeah, the Chargers played the Raiders and the Broncos the last 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Dolphins, they have a tough matchup. I've seen who they played. Their last 2 games, You know, it was against actually Tennessee and the Patriots.
And the Patriots, right?
And we talked about their Dolphins going on a 7-game winning streak, but you got to remember it started with Houston Texans. Come on,
Now,
they beat Baltimore. That was the only good game because they did have Lamar Jackson playing.
Now in the NFC, do you guys see any of these teams in the hunt sneaking in instead of the 49ers or the Eagles?
Just the Vikings.
The Vikings, you think, are the only team that have a shot at it?
I mean, they got a tough week this week. If they can get by, I think they play.
That's Green Bay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. If they get by Green Bay, they got Chicago the last week, who still don't know who the fuck the quarterback is. I mean, Nick Foles did pretty good last week.
See, the game with Green Bay and Minnesota, that's a rivalry game. So you can't really put the – and they got a healthy team, apparently. Well, no, Dalvin Cook's out again.
Chris Smith says he loves the Broncos at 0.1%. They have a 0.1% of making the playoffs. Yes. Yes, Nick, thank you. Breaking news, John Madden passed away. That's very sad. How you doing, Big Nick? I hope you had a good Christmas. I know that you are excited being an Eagles fan, that the Eagles have won 5 of the last 7 games and have got themselves right smack in the middle of the wild card hunt, which is awesome. That was my Christmas present. I don't know about cousin Phil. He don't believe in them, just like Adrian don't believe in the Cowboys.
Believe in the Eagles? Man, it's not that I don't believe in it. It's let me put it this way. I don't want to believe in them because I don't want Sirianni to remain head coach.
Wow. You realize if he makes the playoffs in his first year, taking a team that had 4 wins last year, they're going to talk about him in the conversation of Coach of the Year, and you want him gone
because he doesn't understand the rules of football. Like, he argued for like 10 fucking minutes with the refs about calling the play dead when Boston Scott ran up the middle. The guy was offsides. So it wasn't encroachment or whatever the hell you want to call it, you know what I mean, where they let the play, it's a free play. Right. It's to protect the quarterback. The dude was halfway to the quarterback. That's the reason it was blowing dead. And he's still arguing. That Colin lost Las Vegas Raiders. He lost that freaking game by, not taking a penalty or taking a penalty and giving them a down over, instead of letting them kick the ball. Mm-hmm. It's just, I don't know. He hasn't ran the ball early on. Don't get me wrong. We're running great. We're number 1 rush team the last 7-8 weeks.
We are. We
have 200 and some yards a game.
Crazy.
And
he's becoming a new Mike McCarthy.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't go that far. I was thinking more like Jason Garrett. You know what I mean? Like
that's just rude. That's just too rough.
This stayed 7 years too long,
man. Like give the guy some time. It's his first year, and he's got them at 8-7, and he's not. I'm not even. He has the team playing like a team. He has them healthy. They're one of the healthier teams in the league as far as COVID goes. They lost Sanders to a broken hand. That's not.
I tell you what, if Sirianni tells Roseman to shit down and shut the fuck up and let me draft, and gets the players we need, then I might accept them.
We'll see. He hasn't had a draft yet, right?
I'll give him that. I'll tell you what. I'll give him that.
He was hired.
If you could tell me Wentz is doing a hell of a job this year.
Wentz is doing what? Wentz is doing. What did he have? 50 yards last week. Wentz
255.
No, it was the week before that. The 50 yards. Wentz is doing what he has to do to make sure he doesn't lose. Pretty good.
Couldn't do it, could you? You couldn't do it, could you?
Pretty good.
You couldn't do it, could you?
I think you're wrong about Sirianni, and I think Sirianni is going to be. He's not there yet, but he's going to be a very good head coach.
I'll give him a chance. I'll give him another chance just for you.
Okay.
And you noticed I spelled his name correctly last time.
Yeah, I can't. Wentz is out this week, by the way.
Oh yeah, it doesn't matter. We clinched.
We already clinched it right. He already played 75% of the snaps.
I don't care what he does the rest of the season.
I don't care if he's out the rest of the season. Who cares?
He's fit.
All right.
Now anyway, I need 2 losses from the Colts.
There's some bowl. All right, so it's bowl season, right? College bowl season's off and running, and there's a bunch of bowls. And I'm not going to go through all of them. I did type down a bunch of them that are
New Year's Six.
Of note. What?
The New Year's Six.
You got the New Year's Six. Yeah, that's all you need to know about. But I'm going to throw some because there's actually 2 tonight. There's
one's canceled.
There's what?
One got canceled.
Which one? The one at 10 or the one at 7?
Well, the one at 7 is playing right now, but there's one, or maybe that's tomorrow.
Okay. So I'm just going to go through a couple. Tonight, right now, as we speak, is the Liberty Bowl, which is the Mississippi State. Is that and Texas Tech? Let me see here. If Sirianni makes the playoffs, he won't make it past. We won't make it past round 1. So what? So what? I hate that narrative. I hate it, Nick. I hate it. Why? Would you rather have your season over in 2 weeks, or would you rather have at least one more game just in January? Why would you not want that game in January? For experience, if anything. Sirianni experience, Jalen Hurts experience, why not? So what if we're out in the first round? So what if we get trounced by the Rams or the Bucks or whoever? Who cares? Go ahead.
As I recall, there's been somebody on this panel who has said, it doesn't matter if you make it to the playoffs because you can't make it past the first round. I that's the end of my quote. I'm not going to say who it is. I'm not going to say who said that, but somebody on this panel said that what's the point in making it to the playoffs if you can't make it past first round? But I'm not going to point the fingers or say who it was.
We're not talking about
Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
We're not talking about talking about Dak Prescott.
No, that's okay.
See, the difference is Dak is 1-2 in the playoffs. Jalen hasn't played a playoff game. So how do I know what Jalen Hurts looks like in the playoffs if he doesn't get there? He's got to get there.
I'm just using
he
the
might not
words
have a
that you
chance
said.
next season. For all I know, they might trade him for him and a couple of picks for somebody else. So why can't I get Jalen Hurts in the playoffs? I would love Jalen Hurts in the playoffs. That's what I'm saying.
I'm just using the words that was told to me.
I want to see how he does, because to me, he is at his best when he's under pressure. Like when the game's on the line, that's when he's at his best. To me, and that's why he starts off games so terrible. Usually has crappy throws in the beginning, the first quarter, and then in the second half, for some reason, he doesn't miss a damn beat. Crazy Adrian and Allen both doubted their teams before the season, and now both might make the playoffs. But there ain't no might with the Cowboys. The Cowboys are in. I don't know
why am I crazy.
I don't know. He said we've doubted our teams, which is true. You've been doubting the Cowboys the entire season.
Oh, that's what happened.
I came around on the Eagles when all of a sudden they won 5 out of 7. Chris, let's be clear. They were 3-5. All right, it's like saying the Dolphins fans gave up mid-season, but shit, they're 8-7 now. Chris, that's because they don't have faith in their teams, right? No.
Shut up, Jessica.
Yeah, Chris Vance you got faith in the Jets? All right, so the guaranteed bowl, is that the one that's canceled, cuz the West Virginia, Minnesota tonight?
I don't know. I seen it come across my phone earlier because they didn't have enough players.
Well, if the Liberty Bowl is being played right now, the only other game tonight is this one, and if that one's canceled, it's canceled. So be it. I also going to throw up there the Pinstripe Bowl, Maryland and Virginia Tech. That's tomorrow at 2:00 in the afternoon. We got the Cheez-It Bowl, which is Clemson. Remember them? Versus Iowa State, 5:45. That's tomorrow, 5:45. So you got games like all week. The Alamo Bowl, it's Oregon and Oklahoma. There's Chris Vance Sooners, the 15 Oregon versus 14 Oklahoma Sooners. Tomorrow night at 9:00, the Alamo Bowl.
It was the Holiday Bowl was canceled between NC State and UCLA.
Oh, there you go. I'm not even mentioning that one, so it doesn't matter. So
the what?
You got the Duke's Mayo Bowl, UNC versus South Carolina Thursday. That's Thursday, 11 in the morning. Is that one? You got the Peach Bowl, which is like Pitt and Michigan State. So 13 versus 11 there. Should be a good one. Pitt versus Michigan State Thursday at 7. You pretty much got games at like 2, 5, and 8, like for the rest of the week, basically.
Are they just coming up with bowl names and stuff like the Mayo Duke Bowl, Little Baptist Church down the street?
I don't know.
Second Evangelist touchdown kicking bowl or something like. What the hell is going on?
Here you go, cuz you got Rutgers is in a bowl. They're in the Gator Bowl against Wake Forest.
Do you know how they got that bowl game?
How'd they get that bowl game?
The team that actually was playing in it could not field a team, so they dropped out.
They got COVID?
Yep.
How about that?
Rutgers stepped. I want to say Texas. Texas A&M.
Go Rutgers. Oh, Texas A&M isn't going to get to play in their bowl.
No, they dropped out.
Our mutual
cousin, I wouldn't want to play it.
Is going to be pissed off about that. He's a big Texas A&M fan.
Yeah, they dropped out because of COVID.
All right, so that's Friday at 11 o'clock. The Cotton Bowl then. On Friday at 3:30, that is Alabama, Cincinnati. Obviously, the winner goes to the national championship on January 10th, I believe.
I'm surprised the liberals haven't changed this name.
Oh. Well, they actually did. Are you okay? All right, it's actually called the Cotton Bowl Classic, but it's always called the Cotton Bowl to me. So that's how I feel.
I could help it, Adrian. It was that sheep.
Rachel, hi Rachel. Hey guys, just thought I'd stop by and wish you a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, and to you as well, Rachel. Happy Holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Rutgers is better academically. Is that what he's trying to say?
Better academic.
Yeah, I don't know.
He didn't go to Rutgers.
No. All right, so these are the two main ones here. So Cotton Bowl, you got Cincinnati and Alabama. I'm guessing you guys are going with the Tide.
They'll win. I'm rooting for Cincinnati, but the Tide.
So am I.
Agreed. It'd be cool to see Cincinnati win, but
right. And then later on, that's Friday. That's New Year's Eve at 3:30, and then New Year's Eve at 7:30. You got Georgia and Michigan. Who do you got? Here? Who do you got here?
Michigan. I just something. Man, they got that defensive player. Can't think of his name right now. Aiden Hutchinson. That's it. I don't know, man. That defense is just nasty. They lost one game this year just because Kenny Walker from Michigan State had like 5 touchdowns. They couldn't stop him.
Wasn't Georgia number one most of the year?
Most of the year. But Georgia every year is number 1 or 2 all the way up to the end, and they lose that last game.
Because who do they play? Who do they play?
Georgia Southern and Valley Baptist and
yeah. At the end of the year, they end up playing a powerhouse team and get smoked.
So I got three other bowls to mention. One's a little bit near and dear to Cuz's heart, and that'd be the Fiesta Bowl. Number 9, Oklahoma State versus Notre Dame.
Adrian is a Notre Dame fan.
Correct.
Yes, that I watch.
I guess you're taking the Irish.
Of course.
Of course, yeah. With our new coach, Marcus Freeman.
Yeah. I know. I can't wait to see what he does next year. Because fucking Brian Kelly made me want to chew glass. And
that's the Fiesta Bowl. That's New Year's Day at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And then the Rose Bowl game, which usually, oddly enough, is usually the most watched
Nobody cares.
bowl every year by ratings. It always is. This year it features Utah versus Ohio State, but no matter who's playing in that bowl, usually the Rose Bowl game is always a big, much talked about sports event for casual college fans.
Nobody cares.
Don't be an Anthony Joseph about it. The Rose Bowl game is a New Year's Day tradition. And then later on, And then later on that night, you got the Sugar Bowl, which is Baylor and Mississippi. That's at 8:45. So the Fiesta Bowl, the Rose Bowl, Sugar Bowl is always a New Year's Day tradition. And again, we'll talk about it later when it gets closer. But the college football championship itself is Monday,
Michigan,
January
Alabama.
10th, and these guys are calling Alabama and Michigan. I'm calling Alabama, Georgia, but that's me.
You calling this? Surprise! Another Southern championship.
Yep. How Rutgers got the bowl game invite better academically than other schools. That's how they got the invite, cuz. So what, they went after like the best that doesn't make much sense. Why would they go after the best academically school instead of like put a decent football team in? You know what I mean?
Chris, man, you all right?
They're going to be
Feeling okay?
They're going to be crushed then by Wake Forest then.
Rutgers ain't a bad team this year. They got what's his name back.
Mm-hmm.
Who took them to the bunch of bowl games early on. I can't even remember his name. He was a Dolphins coach for a little bit. Fuck, I don't know his name.
Because Eagles picked up Kenyon Johnson, the running back, put him on the practice squad. Good move.
I mean, he's just a replacement over what's called Miles Sanders.
Yes,
for
read up
breaking
on your
his hand.
sports, guys. My wife graduated there and got the update.
That's because she's an academic. So that's why she wanted to feel important. That was
She's a
Chris.
smart person.
In other words, she's smarter than you. Is that what you're trying to say, Chris? Okay. Guys, that's all I got for tonight, unless you guys got anything else.
What the hell? I gotta mention this. Did you hear? Did you hear the trade rumors? The recent trade rumors in the NBA? Did you hear?
Recent trade rumors.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hysterical.
Involving Ben Simmons?
Oh yeah. So it was reported that LeBron James is willing. He's willing.
Mm-hmm.
He is willing to trade Russell Westbrook. Not the organization, but he's willing.
Yeah, LeBron James makes all the decisions.
Yeah, he's willing to trade Russell Westbrook.
Because Chris Vant was an engineer at GE for 15 years, no college, military. Thank you.
Millery.
Nice.
Millery. I thought he meant military, but okay.
I wasn't picking on.
I was
Chris
an engineer
Vant.
at GE for 15 years, no college. Thank you.
I got no college, and I make $37 an hour.
Can I get an application?
You gonna move down Louisiana too?
Hell yeah! For $37 an hour, I'll run naked in the streets if they wanted me to. For $37 an hour,
I pay you $37 an hour not to run naked in the street.
Exactly. See, it's a double payoff.
There you go.
Double payoff.
Unbelievable.
I know how to
24 hours in a day, so I'm not going to run naked in the street for 24 hours. That's
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Can you imagine the overtime I be getting?
I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So
back to the NBA trades. I'm sorry.
So they're talking about trading Ben Simmons for Russell Westbrook. Let that sink in. Ben Simmons for Russell Westbrook. Who's old? Who's old now? Almost $100 million for the next 2 years.
So the Russell Westbrook experiment in LA has gone completely awry.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if, obviously, LeBron wants him gone, but Ben Simmons, really? Ben Simmons is not worth anything, let alone a Russell Westbrook, to me.
First of all, you have Russell Westbrook, who leads the league in turnovers. He leads the NBA in turnovers. Not to mention that he has $100 million contract that a team has to take off.
Well, so does
2 years,
Simmons,
$47 million.
What does Simmons have?
No, Simmons' contract's not that big. He didn't resign, remember?
No, the Sixers owe him a lot of money.
Oh yeah, they owe him a lot of money, but they don't owe $100 million.
No. All right.
So you got all that money and a sorry ass player, and not that money and a sorry ass player.
Right. I don't know. On
paper, let's face it, everybody was like, "Oh my God, the Lakers are stacked." On paper,
in the beginning,
in the beginning, it was like, "Oh, they we don't see them losing more than 8 or 9 games with that team,
right?
Regardless of the age, because they all collecting Social Security." But that's beside the point. No, that the experiment in LA has been horrible. It has been
we're in a period of Philadelphia sports mediocrity. The Philadelphia Phillies finished 82 and 81, or 81 and 81, whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah,
82 and 80. So that's pretty mediocre, right across 500. The Eagles are 8 and 7. Probably going to finish either 8 and 9 or 9 and 8, right? And then the
Flyers suck.
The Flyers, but the Flyers are like 13 and 13 or something like that. And the Sixers are like, I don't know, 17 and 17 or something like that. So we're talking about 500 ball clubs all the way around. Sad. It's sad.
It's better than what we used to be in the 80s.
Yeah, but we enjoyed the 90s. I mean, not the 90s.
We did. We got spoiled in the 90s.
No, the 2000s. The Andy Reid era there where they were contending for the division every year, and they were in 3 NFC championship games, 1 Super Bowl in 2005. And then we got that fluke-ass Super Bowl in 2017, so it is what it is. And then the Phillies, they won the World Series in 2008. And then they were relevant 2009, 2010, 2011, and then
9 they went back. So
right,
they went back to back.
They were relevant, but they didn't win the whole thing. And then 2011 it broke up, and then they've been mediocre for 10 years or worse.
Yeah.
So, Adrian, there's gonna be some blockbuster trades in the NBA prior to the trade deadline, and it's a matter of, this happens every year. You always have some big trade that gives that team that's mediocre a little push up and gives that team that's mediocre a little push down. It's a matter of who makes the right decisions that either cost their team or not cost their team. And let's face it, this season, I think the Warriors are going to win the title anyway, so who cares?
They got Klay Thompson back, and Steph Curry is not natural. It's not natural.
He's fun.
That man is not. He is. He is not natural,
and he's a nice guy. Most guys that talented are not as nice as him. He spends so much time with the fans before the game, after the game. Like, I hear all these stories about people running into him, and he's so humble, and he's like, you know what I mean? You gotta respect. Yeah. You gotta respect the guy with that much fucking talent, and he's down to earth compared to some other people we can mention.
Exactly.
Before we get out of here, I want to mention the big, huge thing tomorrow night. It's scrolling at the bottom of your screen if you haven't read it yet, and that is the 2M1L Media Spectacular. Tomorrow, end of the year spectacular. Last year, we had a great time. We had Chrissy Cypher. We had Adrian. We had everybody on that's involved in one way or another, 2M1L Media. But last year we did not include the home team sports guys. I want to include the home team sports guys, as many of them as feel like showing up tomorrow. So it's tomorrow night at 8 o'clock right here on this channel. It's the 2M1L Media End of the Year Spectacular featuring Adrian, featuring me, featuring Professor Keith from Around the Turnbuckle, and featuring TJ Spitter from Spittin' with Spitter. And the guys
That's
from Home
two
Team
T's,
Sports,
right?
yes. And the guys from Home Team Sports, whoever decides to show up, will be there. I guarantee you laughter from start to finish. I guarantee you we get all these people together. I guarantee you it's going to be amazing. It's going to be fun. Why are you guys laughing at me?
I said TJ Spitters with two T's, right? You said yeah. I said okay, and then Adrian looked at me. I'm like, he's got two eyes.
Well, that's close enough.
I would have noticed.
Nobody read that anyway.
I mean, I saw it come across. I just saw my name, Professor K. I was like, oh, snap. I didn't even know I had to get closer to see it. I was like, oh, shit. Like Miller Larry.
You guys got to point out our mediocrities.
Just like the Miller Larry, you got to make sure that you
As
spell
a fan
correctly.
of the Lakers, I have to say the biggest bust is getting Russell Westbrook
And Anthony Davis. Let's not forget him.
They ain't trade Anthony Davis.
I want to do a big birthday shout out to my daughter Natalia, who turns 10 years old today.
Natalia.
Happy birthday, Natalia!
Woo! Happy birthday!
I don't do Facebook happy birthdays, but I noticed my wife did. She said happy birthday. Well, that's good enough for my family.
Natalia is 10 years old today.
1-0.
When I first started dating her mother, I was she was in diapers. So I've been with her just about this entire 10 years. So it's been an amazing thing.
Woody, right?
Rachel Cook, thank you very much, saying happy birthday, Natalia, on there. Thank you very much, Rachel. We call her Woodle.
Woodle, that's it.
We call her Woodle, and where's that? What's that from? That is from when Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, where it's the O'Toodle. If you guys have ever seen that show,
of course, I got little ones too.
Yeah.
All right. So
I like the hot dog dance.
Yeah. It's O'Toodle, and when she was little, she used to say O'Woodle because she couldn't say O'Toodle. She would say O'Woodle. And so her Nana started calling her that. And so we all call her Woodle. Jessica, thank you very much. Happy birthday, kiddo. Thank you very much, everybody. So do not miss TJ Spitter, Adrian, Professor Keith, these guys here, and whoever else might show up. We do have some surprises lined up. I will not tell you, Adrian, who they are.
Oh, well, fine. You ain't got to tell me.
We have some surprises lined up.
You don't have to.
You don't want to miss tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of fun. What, Phil?
I said Ray Pat.
No.
I'm waiting on Ray Pat to show up. Like, I was promised Ray Pat, and I still haven't gotten Ray Pat. This is a travesty.
Let me be clear. Ray Pat is not welcome on this program. I hope he's watching and he sees me say that.
Oh, okay. Well, damn, my bad. I'm sorry.
Because Anthony Joseph thinks he can just put whoever he wants on this show, and
he owns that seat. He said
he's wrong. He owns the seat. Why? Because he threw us a couple bucks towards the StreamYard. Wrong. But anyway,
here's Ray Pat sitting right next to me. See him here.
Any final words before we show the intro that we're going to end the show with the intro we started with?
I want to see the intro. I want to see. I would like to see it because it was beautiful, and I want the critics to know that I'm pushing this movie. It's happening. I'm going to push this movie, and I want to thank everybody who was a part of it.
You do realize that if he goes 4-0 next week,
he's 2-2.
You go 2-2.
I understand that.
You guys switch spots.
Yeah, yes. And then I can make the sequel. I can start the sequel to the movie.
The sink has sunken.
We'll see everybody next Tuesday. We'll see everybody tomorrow night, Wednesday night, 8
That's a
o'clock.
good one, Adrian. That was a good one.
For the end of the year spectacular. Happy New Year, everybody. Happy birthday, Natalia. We'll see you guys next time.